the Forbidden City's most fragile treasure, publicly exhibited just 4 times in a century, one of China's 10 great masterpieces. 1,000 li of rivers and mountains. Were it not for the inscribed colophon, none would believe this masterpiece flowed from an 18-year-old spruce. In 1113, Emperor Huizong of Song Huizong led out Wang Ximeng, a failed Imperial Art Academy candidate, deeming him teachable. He enrolled the youth at the Royal Art School within Kaifeng's Imperial Academy, personally mentoring him. 6 months later, Wang nailed LT on icy gold bricks in Yangfu Palace, presenting a 12-meter scroll, as silk unfurled. Even the treasure-sated emperor held his breath. Azure peaks surged like dragons. Emerald boats floated in dreamlike waves, compressing 1,000 miles into an arm's reach. More mysterious lie. Wang vanished after completing this work. 1,000 li of rivers and mountains remains his sole legacy, a comet streaking through Song Dynasty skies, leaving mountains and rivers in its wake before vanishing forever.
When genius and empire fell, this magnificent picture scroll of the Northern Song Dynasty began its 900-year exile.
Prime Minister Jingkang accepted it as attribute to the emperor, a terrible omen. 13 years later, the great disaster of Jingkang struck. The Jurchen cavalry tramp-led Song Huizong became a prisoner. Sai starved in the ruins of the temple. Real drift. Yuan Dynasty. A Buddhist monk unbound its silk ties after centuries of slumber. His trembling hand added a colophon after 800 viewings, still left mysteries unexplored. In a blink of an eye, he came to the Qing Dynasty again, and the barrage Mad Qianlong stamped 37 seals before and after, and finally could envelop but write a poem on it before stopping. At the end of the Qing Dynasty, the picture scroll was taken out by the young Emperor Pui and fled to the puppet Manchu Kuo. After the founding of the People's Republic of China, the Cultural Relics Bureau in the Luli factory stall to pick up this painting. I heard that I also went to shop to pick up the leak. I did not expect to be lucky enough to find a part of the painting. I also repeated lie appreciated hundreds of times. The real work is still stored in the Palace Museum. Constant temperature and humidity of the dark warehouse, but also sincerely hope that it can sleep here forever and will not be disturbed again. A picture scroll can be passed down for nearly 1,000 years, and the color is still well preserved, precisely because of the exquisite pigment production technology of the ancients. Precious, natural, or is ground into powder, and then mixed with melted coal wide as a bender to make a variety of colored pigments, which are generally used in Buddhist paintings, such as the murals in our caves, and the Thang costs that are still painted with this process. How expensive is it? How much do you see this selling? Only 5 colors are used in the map of thousands of miles of rivers and mountains. The black of charcoal hooks the VENs of the mountain stone. The warm red of ochre covers the earth and mountain stones. The green of malachite glows with distant peaks and forests. The blue of azurite smudges the strange stones on the top of the mountain, and the white embellishment of the clams and shells, embellishment figures, birds and beasts. This extremely simple color spectrum makes the game of cold and warm to achieve a delicate balance between silk fibers. The painter makes full use of the characteristics of multi-point perspective in the traditional long scroll form in the composition, and roughly divides the scenery into 6 parts in the huge long scroll of more than 10 meters. Each part takes the mountain as the main object of expression, and the parts are connected by a long bridge or communicated with flowing water, so that each section of the landscape is relatively independent, but also interrelated and skillfully connected into a whole, achieving the artistic effect of changing the scenery step by step. The interspersed use of a variety of compositional methods such as laugh tie, far-reaching, and flat makes the picture ups and downs, full of a strong sense of rhythm, and fascinating. Zoom in to see the rich details. Each part is a painting of its own, although the characters are as small as beans. But they are thousands of attitudes. Lifelike and dynamic in shape, the microwave waterlines are drawn with one stroke, and the fishing boats and pleasure boats are swaying in the meantime, adding a sense of dynamism to the picture. Looking at the whole picture, it does not lose the majestic realm and magnificent momentum, and it is convincing to see it from a distance and up close. Thankfully, thanks to technology, we can now see high-resolution digital versions of the original works on the Palace Museum's website. Today, Rivers and Mountains is no longer the emperor's private collection, but the world's rivers and mountains. When you carefully appreciate this painting, the green has been deeply imprinted in your heart and can be evoked at any time. It may be the peaks erected by the computer desktop. It may be the blue waves flowing on the mobile phone screensaver. It may be the fishing boat with cutter written by children. The restricted is fragile silk, but the release is thousands of miles of rivers and mountains. Forbidden to let the rivers and mountains stay green forever.